Welcome to the inside of an incredibly warm Honda Jazz. I think it's 22 degrees outside, which is mental for Cumbrian. I still need a haircut. So today we're going to look at removing the front and rear door cards, and then we're going to measure the speakers and then replace the speakers. I haven't actually got the speakers yet because I don't know what size I need. So I'm going to take the door cards off, measure them front and rear, and then order them up and replace them, because we already have a very cool Kenwood touchscreen radio, which is not switched on, but there you go. So we've already got that, and I think they're just going to be standard speakers because it doesn't sound very good. So yeah, so let's work out how to get these door cards off. I can't see it being too difficult. Obviously you've got switches down there for your electric windows and locking and stuff like that. So looking at it, you can see one screw there. I can't actually see any others elsewhere. So I think that's the first thing I'm going to try and take that screw out, and then I'm going to try and prise this panel out and remove the plugs for that, and then maybe there might be some more underneath. Doesn't feel like there is. It might just pop off. So that shouldn't be too difficult. Cool, so we'll do that and then we'll have a look at doing the rear as well. Right, it's a Phillips screw there, and then I've got a very cool trim removal tool that came free with a dash cam, and we'll use that to get that part out there. So because a Honda is amazing, it'll have little pockets everywhere to store stuff, so we'll put our parts in there on the dash. Right, so that's that done. That's now loose. Don't know what that does, but we'll see. Maybe that didn't need to come off, we don't know. Not really sure. Right, but anyway, we'll start with this because this looks like it's been off before. Oh, wait a minute. That comes off that way. Okay, right. So this whole panel here unclips. So I just pull it off from the front there, and that's unclipped. All in one piece. And that is going to give us access to our plugs. In there. One plug, and then that should be the second plug almost off. Quite a difficult one-handed, obviously. I'll come back to this, can't do it one-handed. So with your plugs off, your switch panel, as you can see there, it's got two clips, and they just slot in there. It'll be that gap there, and that gap there. So you can remove that now, and I'll back to the collection a bit, and this has revealed a lot more screws now. So we've got one, we've got two, and we've got three, and I think that is it. I don't really know why we had to remove that yet. I haven't figured out why that had a screw in it. The reason that I don't understand. Right, it is. It's just held in with these two clips here. One there and one there. Just tuck in behind there. So you just kind of need to slide that whole lot that way, and it'll come out. So that's that. And then you can get your cable off there, which I'll have to do one-handed again. And then I've already removed these three bolts, 1, 2, 3, and your door card will then just pop off. Door card off, easy as that. Right, so these are your standard fit speakers. If these are anything like an EP3, they're just sort of clipped in at the top, like two little notches at the bottom. So I'll get my trim removal tool, I may need a screwdriver, pop them off. They're just standard speakers, as you can see there, they're actually bust. Look there, dead. So that's cool, they need replaced anyway. I'll take them off, measure them up, and then I'll get the back ones out, which I think are the same size to be honest, but I'll get the back ones out, measure them up, and get something ordered. Jazz. Yeah, exactly the same as an EP3. Them bits there are just tucked in. So all you're doing is you're pressing down on this metal clip at the top when it's in the door card, and that there will release it from its slot. And then you just tip it and pull it out. So, a bit rusty, a bit knackered, a bit dead, need replaced. So that's the front one off. That's quite simple. I'm going to leave this car in bits until I get speakers anyway. No point putting them back together. I'll just put the electric window switch back in and then drive around with it like that, because it doesn't really matter. So let's get the rear door card off, which shouldn't be much different to that really. I think it's pretty much going to be the same concept. Let's have a look in the back then. Yeah, so a wild guess. I'm going to say it's virtually identical to taking the front door card off, just a bit smaller obviously because it's a short door. So we've got a Phillips there, then we will remove this for the electric window switch. We'll pull that trim off there, that should come off like it does on the front, revealing a couple of screws, and then there is no switches other than the electric window switch in this door, so it shouldn't be too bad. Just also got to get the cable off that, which I reckon will be the same concept, so bolt out and then you will kind of push it that way and pry it back out, and that should come out. That's it. So because my seats are down, I can give myself a handy seat to work on. They're quite amazing, these cars, when you put the seats down. They're like a little van, cool as hell. There's a Civic. Right, so let's get on with this then. This is the only bit I can do while holding the camera. I have to buy myself a tripod, aren't I? Just so I can, like, you know, pretend I work and stuff. So there's your screw out. Now, with this being the back of the car, there isn't quite as many handy places to keep things apart from the entire boot floor, so I'm probably going to lose that, but we'll keep it there anyway. Right, wicked. So I got that off in the end. Right, so the cable here, I didn't show this in the front, but got a little plastic clip there, so you just want to flip that round. You moved it from there, flick it round to there, and that allows that to come off. Well, it does if you have two hands, man. It does come off. Everything's easy with two hands, isn't it? Ridiculous. Right, I'll come back when I've got two hands on it. See, two hands, off instantly. Right, now what we'll do is, we'll keep this little screw, and put it back in its little hole, so I don't lose it. It's kept there now. I'm going to put all this in the garage anyway, because it's going to remain off for a while. Now, we can try and get this trim off like we did with the front piece. It's nice to know that when they painted this car, they had all the trims off the paint actually. You see on the front door it's green inside, because it was originally black. So that's kind of cool. Oh, well, you can see where they've marked all the trims in. Yes, that's that popped off. Do this with trim tools, not air screwdrivers. I think that was a screwdriver originally. There you go. Off. Add two piles. Okay. Back on with Phillips. And that leaves us with this switch here, which is the electric window switch. Off. And you've got two Phillipses. Right, okay, so take that one off. Now if you're going to leave your door card off for a while, you could probably put these Phillips screws back into position just so you don't lose them. I'm going to put these in a little tub because I know where they are in the garage. Yeah, they're actually painted all the way around. Not a bad job. I don't know when it was painted, but it's quite smart. Basically only bought it because it was green. Nearly there. I imagine this is going to be the same size as front speaker, but same size as the front speaker, sorry, but we'll find out in a second. Okay, so that's now stuck in the hole. Quickly, here you go. Onto the floor, lose it. Got it. That's them two out. Keep the trim tool there because we don't need it now. And should be able to. There's a little gap underneath the bottom where, I don't know if you can actually see it in the camera, can you? You can't see, there's a little gap kind of where my fingers are there. You can just feel it, it's like a little ridge, so just going to use that to pull on. Which is going to do nothing. But it will eventually go. Oh, with a bang. That's that off. And we just need this top corner off here. Does that want that trim off? Really not. Maybe it does. Yeah, it does. Right, okay, so you need to take this trim off as well. That should just push on as well, really. Have a clip behind it, does it? Yep. Little push clip there, which goes into there. So that's just easy. Pull that off as well. Add that to your pile. There you go. Okay, number 2 off. Add this to the pile. Right, so there's your front speaker, knackered. There's your back speaker. exactly the same size. So that's easy. We're just going to order 2 lots of speakers, all the same size, but we're going to need speaker ring adapters. Alright, let's get the speaker out from here. Back to the trim tool. Sometimes these metal clips are easier if you poke them with a screwdriver, just because you need a bit more force. Sometimes you can get them. I'll come back to that. Right, but yeah, so they're all the same size, but as you can see there's nothing to actually mount it to, because the actual mount itself clips into the door. So we're going to need speaker mounts for a Honda Jazz, and then the correct size speakers. And you can also buy, for the Civic you can anyway, you can buy a plug which connects the original wiring into your new wiring, so you don't have to do any wiring at all. It's just like a little harness adapter, 2 ends, plug it straight in, job done. I'm going to try and get those for it. They do add a little bit of cost on the job, whereas you could just electrical tape them if you really wanted, but in case I want to fit these back in, which I don't, but you know, might as well do it properly. I can. Yeah, I need a proper screwdriver on that. Okay, and then that's it. Front door cards off, rear door cards off. Now we just need to measure the speakers. Just in case anybody remembers the cat from the first few videos, here's the cat. A little bit bigger, aren't you? So what we need to measure is basically the cone size of the speaker, which it's really hard to show you here, but it works out roughly about 130mm. Because the majority of this here, if you were to measure to the edge, it's actually a bracket. It's actually like the covering. So you're only really measuring the back end of that, so about 130. Right, so it's another day here in sunny Cumbria and the speakers have arrived. So we have Pioneer 2As, relatively cheap ones, but they're going to be better than the other ones that were knackered. Definitely going to be better than that. And we also have speaker ring adapters. So these are going to mount your speakers into your doors. So it basically emulates what that looks like, the original speaker. So it'll just hook in the bottom, clip in the top. As you see, it's got its hooks, and it's got its clip. And then, just to save on doing any wiring, we've got these little adapters. So that'll plug into the end of the standard wiring that's in the car already. And these 2 ends will just go straight onto the speaker, which means plug and play, great word, and we're sorted. The first things we'll do is we'll add the connector in. So this should only fit in one way. See, it's got a slot there at the bottom. That's got a slot inside it, so that'll only fit on one way. Perfect, right, so that gives us the speakers wires. Now, we need to attach our adapter. So, you should just tuck in to the door, like normal. Yep, and then clip in. Pretty good. Now speaker time. Can't do this one-handed, so you'll just have to watch. All attached, looking smart. Next thing to do is to test it before you put your door card back on, so I'm going to do that and then put the door card back on. So that's our door card back on. You just hook it over your door lock thing and then clip it, push it back on, and then you've got your 3 screws in there. And there you go, you can't see your speaker at all. So you don't fit the grills that come with your speakers because your door cards obviously have grills, so you don't need them. Now all we're left to do is reattach our handle switches, and then the cover that goes around the switches, and that's the front done. We'll move on to the rear. So we've finished all front and rears. These are the old ones. Right, so we've fit the speakers and we've tested that the central locking works and that the electric window still works. Obviously if edgy plugs out, you don't want to put your car back together and nothing works, especially the door locks. I've had that happen before and to get in through the boot was quite annoying. So I've tested, everything works, everything seems fine. So all we're left to do now is basically put the phone in, find some royalty free music that I can play. Oh, I can play the intro piece, can't I? Although it's not going to sound amazing, but at least I'll be able to show that the speakers are working. And then yeah, that's that. So let's give this a quick test. Look at the dust on there, eh? It's definitely working though, which is good. Sounds better as well. Obviously I'll be able to play with all the levels at some point, but yeah, it sounds good. I'll just make sure, I don't really know my way around this radio, so you have to excuse me on this bit, but let's just make sure front and rear are definitely working fine. Yep, that's rear right, rear left, front left, and front right. Wicked. We're all on. We're all good. Put that back into the centre. Okay, yeah, so, wait a minute. What's it done that for? Try to put it in the centre. There, right. Sorted. Yeah, not bad. As I say, I can't exactly do much with them right now. I'm going to have to set them up at some point, but I can't really do that this time of the day because I can't really be bothered. So I'll probably take a drive at some point and set them up there. But that's all 4 speakers done and swapped. It wasn't even a hard job. One tip I'll say is, I don't know about the driver's door, but the passenger door and the rear doors, you don't need to take off the actual electric window switch unit. You can leave it attached to the door card, just unplug it. It's probably the same on the driver's one, but I don't know because I did actually unplug it and I did remove it, so I can't really say about that one. But the other 3, no problem. Leave it attached to the door card, just unplug it, remove the door card. So once you've done like the front and the rear on one side, you'll find that the others are so easy, it's minutes. It's actually really straightforward, dead easy to do, and unless you want to actually do the wiring, I would recommend buying the wiring plugs just to plug straight in. It's a lot easier. I mean, yeah, alright, you just have to like join 2 wires together, solder or electrical tape, whatever you really want to do. It saves you a few pounds, but it's just a bit easier for this. And also, chances are that if you electrical tape them, sometimes the connections can come undone. This should always work, so I'll just leave that as it is. So yeah, that's good. That royalty free music, I made that myself, so I don't have to worry about that, so that I'll never have a copyright strike, so I'm happy with that. And that was the intro music that I made. I think it's about 1.5 minutes long in total. It's in some of the videos, but not all of them. But it's always at the start, the first sort of like 3 or 4 seconds of it. And that's it, so that's the speakers changed in my Honda Jazz. Now I can go and enjoy some Australian hip hop at loud volumes. Thank you.